Welcome back to our third and final segment of the show. Paul Amadeus Lane. So happy to have you on the new edition of the Tech Zone. New colors, new logo. Gosh, the future is bright. I'm looking so forward to it. I'm happy, I'm geeked, I'm stoked. And it's all because of you guys. Don't forget to go to my new website, revamped paulamadeouslane.com. Go there and check it out. Connect with me. You can check out a lot of great content. Not only the Tech Zone, but you can find out a little bit more about me as well. Well, we talked about it earlier in the show, talking about the arcade, the retro gaming. There's an event happening in Southern California in a few weeks you definitely want to be a part of. Now, I want to give a shout out to the person who produces video for the convention that's happening, Emoto Gaming. Great YouTuber, great information. Make sure you follow her and definitely check her out. But here's a video that kind of explains it.
Arcade Expo 2015. It's SoCal's first Arcade Expo. I don't think you're ready for this walkthrough. I mean, being a kid in a candy store has never been so true right now. This museum of pinball that John Weeks has created is truly amazing. That was terrible. There are so many pinball machines here. It's incredible. This is the last day of the 3-day convention where everything is on free play all day long. Look how far down it goes. And then it goes this way. There's like 5 rows of so many pinball machines here. So
back in 2015, this was created, it was born, and it continues today, and I am so excited. And joining me right now to talk about this great event going on here in Southern California, in the Beaumont area, we have Dan Lin. Dan is the Arcade Expo show director. Going to give us some good things about what we have to look forward to. Dan, how are you, my friend?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Hey, it's a pleasure having you. So, Dan, when did you guys know you wanted to do this event? Because we showed some video from the event that happened a couple of years ago. Why did you guys bring it up in the first place?
It was just basically John Weeks. He's the founder. He's been collecting games forever, and it's always really been his dream to make an arcade. And he started collecting, I think, in the 80s, if I remember correctly. And he just kind of started slowly accumulating these games, and they were just sitting there in the storage area. And then he tried doing a Kickstarter, I think back in 2014 or 2013, which didn't work out. And then he ended up, with his other businesses, finally doing well, like putting some money aside, and then finally started this whole thing back in 2000. Well, the first one was in 2015.
Wow, that's cool. And what was like the response back there in 2015? I know my buddy Sean at the station, he talks highly of it. So, what was the response back then?
Oh, it's pretty much the same response we get now for those that have never been there. It's really cool because it's the lobby area, and then it splits off one to pinball side and one to arcade side. And it turns a corner before you actually get to see all the rows and rows and rows of pinballs. And every single time it would be like something like, whoa, you see how many, what? This is insane, or something like that. So, like, it's just really amazing to see all these people just, like, light up once they see all these pinball machines.
And it takes me back to when I was, like, in grammar school. I'm dating myself. But, I remember taking my 25 cent, walking home, and there was a store called the Candy Bar. I grew up in Long Beach, California. There's one store called the Candy Bar. And, man, they had these 2 pinball games, and me and my friend, we used to We used to play it all the time. As a matter of fact, I used to do like a little spin move after I would do like a nice little pinball thing. And it was we go up there and I'll do all the ball stuff. I would do my little spin move. So it takes me back, man. So when it comes to the pinball machines and everything, and what we see now, how far gaming has come, this is my opinion. I think there's a place for both. How do you feel about it?
Oh, definitely. Like just attesting to all the barcades that are coming up. They heavily feature pinballs. Like 82, they have 25 some pinball machines. It's along with all the other games, and it's just been growing strong. There's the whole pinball community, the professional and the amateur levels, and it's something that I didn't really know existed until I started working here, and it's just like it's still growing strong.
Yeah, and I was looking at some pictures right now of the Museum of Pinball, and I'm looking at my notes right now. Over 40,000 square foot of over 800 vintage and modern pinballs and arcade games. Which one's the most popular pinball games? Is it one that ones always gravitate to, like that Star Trek one, or maybe the other novelty ones, the Star Wars ones? Well, what are the ones kind of gravitate to?
It's honestly, it's really based on the customer's nostalgia factor. Personally, for me, I'm a big fan of the Indiana Jones, the Game of Thrones. There's a lot of people that like only the new ones. There's a lot of people that love the old ones because they remind them, or they're hard to see that they don't see that often. And like we have like cute stories where like there's a couple that met through a pinball machine for the first time, and they haven't seen one since they attended our first arcade expo.
Wow. So it kind of like a little, like you said, the nostalgia factor in there. And it really has to, I guess, warm the heart of you guys over there, at your company. Not only are you guys helping people to have fun, but you have nostalgia, people hooking up, love connections and all that other good
Yeah,
stuff.
I love stories. One of our volunteers actually, his first real memory of pinball was with him and his dad with a giant Hercules machine, which, if you don't know, it's like the biggest manufactured pinball machine. And instead of the little pinball that they have, they use a giant cue ball, and like that's the size of the machine. And he has this whole story where that was his first memory of his like real hardcore memory with his father, and then that was in Ontario malls. But then they closed down, and the machine ended up going to Big Bear, and then 20 some years later, he found it over at Big Bear, and he was so ecstatic. But then that place got rid of it, and it actually happened to move over to our Museum of Pinball. And then so when he came back, he was like crying once he found out that it was the exact same machine that he had played with his father.
Wow. You know what? I'm glad you shared that because I bet like ones around my age who grew up with the pinball machines, it's all about stories. I remember going to the Redondo Beach Pier when I was growing up, the arcade there, the pinball machines. And, when it comes to like the other arcade games, like the Miss Pac-Man, like the regular Pac-Man, Defender, you name it, all these great games. Do you guys have those nostalgic games too?
Oh yeah. I think we have like seven different varieties of Pac-Man. We have a lot of Defenders, Millipede, Centipede, Missile Command, uh, Burger Time, which I've started playing a lot
Wait a
of.
minute, you got Burger Time, man?
Yeah, we
Oh
have.
man, throw the salt and pepper at him, man. Oh, I
Yeah.
love that game. Love that game. And Donkey Kong, I remember playing Donkey Kong the first time. I was like, this is one of the coolest games ever. When I was growing up, I think the first video game we had was Pac-Man, and then it was Centipede, and then I think it was Tempest. We had Tempest, and all those great games, and that brings back a whole lot. I remember going to the liquor store over where I live. I took $1, right? So I got me like some Cheetos and some soda, and then I had like 1 quarter left, and that always went to Pac-Man. When we were growing up, we always put that last quarter into Pac-Man.
Yeah.
Now, have you ever turned a game over? Remember growing up? I remember when I was growing up, we used to always say, you turn the game over, meaning I think you calculated the score way up, and then it went back to zero. Have you ever turned a game over like that?
No, I'm just not good enough to do something
Uh,
like that. Yeah.
Neither me. I wasn't either, but some of my friends, they were like awesome at it and they would do it. But this is so cool. So how do ones um make sure they can attend this event? Is there tickets they can buy online, or what are some things they can do?
Yeah, the easiest way is just to go to arcadeexpo.com. We have a buy ticket link. Which goes through our ticketing website. All our tickets are pretty much will call, so once you order it, you'll get the confirmation number and you'll pick up the wristband at the event.
Nice. And then we're looking at your website right now, and it has the countdown clock, of when this is going to happen, and I'm sure you guys are getting really excited about it, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's always great to hold the event and like meet all the people that really love it, but it's a lot of work coming into it.
And talk about the work that goes into it, Dan, if you don't mind, because some of us are going to attend there and have a lot of fun, and we don't know what goes on behind the scenes. So, what are some of the things that go on behind the scenes of this event to make it happen?
Well, the biggest thing that we have to do is just fixing the machines and getting them ready for um, everybody to see them and clean them out. We also have, just setting up the event, which is my job, with the vendors and the music, because we kind of make it more like a festival than just an arcade. So we have food trucks and we have vendors, we have live music, and we have, getting the panels and celebrity guests.
Nice. So people come from around California, you know, maybe even some around the globe to check out this event. And are you guys looking forward to get that kind of notoriety, or it's like not quite like E3, but something like, hey, we're putting Beaumont on the map, and everybody's coming from around the world. Is that the objective you guys want to achieve?
Yeah, pretty much. We just want to, expand pretty grassroots. We have, and slowly we have a really good followings, because we actually had to switch the dates this year around, and we still have a lot of core people that are like, yeah, it doesn't matter when. We definitely want to check it out. We definitely want to go back. It's such a great time last time and stuff like that. And yeah, we're trying to get the name out there.
Awesome, awesome, and I'm glad to have you on the Tech Zone, because we talk about everything technology based with the newer games and even the older games. I remember when I was at CES this past year, ran across a company that creates a little mini retro games. I remember when I was growing up, they started that with Pac-Man, a little Pac-Man arcade game. So a lot of that is coming back to retro gaming, and I think you guys are definitely on the right track. And congratulations! I think in 2015, Guinness Book of World Records, at your place, and that's pretty cool, my friend.
Yeah, that was the first one that we just wanted to do, just because, what are we going to do with all these pinball machines? And I believe the Texas Expo's been trying to break it since then, and we were like kind of hoping to get like back and forth and just like keep growing with that, but we're waiting on them.
Tell them it's all about that California love, right there.
Yeah, yeah.
You can't mess with Cali. We on top. That's all that
Yeah,
I'm saying.
even Beaumont, even
Abs-
if it's Beaumont.
Absolutely, and a lot of ones out there may not have heard of Beaumont before, but putting Beaumont on the map, that's what we're doing.
Technically banning, but yeah,
A-
banning Beaumont.
Absolutely, the double B's, right?
Yeah.
Before we let you go, my friend, anything else you'd like to bring out to the audience out there, to articulate to them about the event? Anything else you'd like to bring up?
It's just an insane amount of games. You really kind of have to be there to notice it. And we've actually had a lot more arcade games. We have the new pinball machines coming out, and we're just slowly expanding too. So every year we have, little new stuff that people are commenting on. We're getting more. We're trying to do Rock Band. We have Guitar Hero and stuff like that, and new ones, which we didn't have before.
Nice. So I can get up there when I go down there. I can do some Bon Jovi. I can sing, do the rock, but get my rock band on, right?
Yeah, and do everything.
Awesome. Looking forward to it, Dan. It's been great talking to you, and I'm looking forward to being out there and having a lot of fun, and having ones out there join us out there. And it's been an honor talking to you, my friend, and look forward to having you back on. We'll have you back on after the event, and I'm going to be out there doing some interviews and everything, and I'll talk to you, and we'll have some fun. And Dan, it's been great talking to you.
Sounds good.
I am so glad we had this time together on the Tech Zone. The show went by way too fast. And don't forget all the great features of the Tech Zone brand, the Tech Zone reports. Make sure to subscribe to all my social media. They will be released every so often. You might even hear them here on the radio station as well, too. So you don't want to miss that. Thank you so much. We thank Dan Lin for joining us. Make sure you go out to the arcade gaming convention that's happening. It's going to be amazing. You definitely got to check it out. But make sure I give it props. Arcade Expo 3.0. Go check it out. Go to their website, arcadeexpo.com. Well, in the words of Biff Tannen, I'm going to make it like a tree and get out of here. But before I let you go, always turn someone's frown into a smile. And what's the other one, Alan? I'm forgetting right now. Yeah. And leave someone in a better mood in which you receive them. Yeah, I'm getting it together. Tech Zone on Paul Amadeus Lane. Connect with me, paulamadeuslane.com. Have a good one. Talk to you next time.